The silence here is not peace. It is the vast, echoing space where human love should be. I ask them to stay awake, to simply be with me, and they sleep. They cannot bear the simple weight of their exhaustion. How can they ever bear the impossible weight of mine? I sit here, and the stone is cold beneath me, but the coldness in my soul is the memory of every no uttered to the Father's love, stretched across history. I see the light of creation, the joy of the first morning, the perfection of Eden, and I see the shadows that follow. Cain's envy, Sodom's excess, the prophet's warnings ignored. Every disappointment is a fresh scar on my heart, and I feel them all now, simultaneously. I am here, fully man, and the man in me trembles. The sight of that cross behind me is not just a future event. It is a memory of a disaster that must be averted. It is the knowledge that the world I created out of boundless love has created this instrument of execution for its creator. The sorrow is in the irony, the ultimate rejection woven from the very fabric of free will that I gifted them. They say I am God, and yet the God in me is veiled by this fragile humanity, making the pain raw and absolute. I see the path clearly. Judas's kiss, Peter's denial, the shouts of "Crucify him" from the very throats that once cried, "Hosanna." I accept the betrayal. But what truly crushes me is the clarity of futility. I see the centuries to come, the millions who will cling to their grudges, their divisions, their pride, even while they clutch my name. I see the wars fought over interpretations of my words. I see the poor ignored, the suffering mocked, and the vulnerable trampled, all under the shadow of this cross. My sacrifice, pure and absolute, will be used as a political tool, a weapon of judgment, a cause for endless strife. Is this cup not bitter enough without the taste of futility? My Father, I would gladly bear the physical lash 1,000 times over if only I could erase the knowledge that my purest act of love will be endlessly misused and betrayed by the hearts I am dying to save. This disappointment is a deeper wound than any Roman nail. I feel the beginning of the great descent. I am starting to take on the very nature of sin, and it is a vile, alien sensation. It is not pain, it is filth. The holiness in me recoils. My skin crawls with the dark weight of all humanity's iniquity. Every lie, every lust, every murder, every single thought of malice is pooling inside me, trying to drown the light. This is the true terror I begged the Father to avoid. To be separated from His presence is one thing, but to become the essence of separation itself, to become the sin I despise, that is the final crucifixion of the soul. My hands clench because I feel the desire to scream, to lash out, to reject this vile contamination. I am afraid of losing myself in the blackness, of becoming what I came to conquer. I feel the cold dread of every soul that has ever turned away from hope. I feel the finality of their separation. I must taste the eternal consequence for them. I am terrified of what I will become in that moment on the wood, the very picture of utter spiritual abandonment. Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. That final cry of separation is already beginning to form in my throat. Yet, I cannot retreat. If I retreat now, their chasm remains eternal. The darkness wins. The love I have preached, the love that is me, demands this absolute surrender. I trade my absolute, infinite peace for their possibility of finding peace. I accept the cold. I accept the betrayal. I accept the terrifying shame of being utterly naked and alone, carrying the collective filth of the universe. I accept the separation from my Father. I rise from this cold stone now, not renewed, but utterly broken and resolved. The sorrow is a heavy garment that will not leave me until the tomb, but beneath it is the unyielding anchor of my purpose. I will walk out into the night and meet my betrayer. I will look upon the faces of my executioners, and I will see not enemies, but the lost souls for whom this terrible price is being paid. The physical body will fail, but the will of love will not. And I weep for the ones who will never look back. I weep for the souls who, even after this great act of love, will turn their faces resolutely toward the darkness, choosing their chains over my freedom. This is the grief of failed rescue. I came to gather them all. I came to heal every wound. But I cannot violate the sacred, terrible gift of free will. To love them means to allow them the choice to reject me, and the agony of seeing that final, willful rejection. That is an eternal grief that I take on now. My sorrow is deepest for the love that will be refused. I see them walking into the eternal consequence, and I cannot intervene, because their choice must stand. I must respect the very freedom that condemns me now, and that will ultimately condemn them. It is a truth so cruel, so paradoxical, that it threatens to shatter my very essence. Yet, I cannot retreat. The promise must be kept. The Father's love demands it. I trade my absolute, infinite peace for their possibility of finding peace. I accept the cold. I accept the betrayal. I accept the terrifying shame of being utterly naked and alone. I accept the separation. I rise from this cold stone now, not renewed, but utterly broken and resolved. The physical body will fail, but the will of love will not. I will walk out into the night and meet my betrayer. I will look upon the faces of my executioners, and I will see not enemies, but the lost souls for whom this terrible price is being paid. My Father's will is my will, because His will is perfect love. The heartbeat slows further and then fades completely, leaving a moment of absolute silence before the sound of a single, gentle bell chime. Hold the image before fading to black. Amin.